As the auction concluded, powerful figures from various factions grew restless. Yet the mysterious figure who had purchased the Undying Leaf did not leave. Instead, they chose to stay in Ghost King City. This decision left many strong-willed individuals in Ghost King City feeling frustrated, though several forces had discreetly begun monitoring the mysterious figure's residence, ready to report back to their factions at the first sign of movement. How much further? Qian asked his companion as they moved through the dark tunnel. It had been a full 10 minutes since they entered, with no end in sight, prompting Qian's impatience. The passage was pitch black, but Qian and his companion were skilled, navigating it with ease. "Sir, the exit is just ahead," the companion stammered, sweating nervously as he pointed forward. The man in front of him was a third-rank Imperial-class alchemist. Even the city lord would have his skin if he let anything go wrong. "Thank you." Qian looked in the direction his companion indicated, spotting a hidden door. Without hesitation, he sprang forward, quickly leaving the tunnel. What a terrifying man. "Well, since my task is done, I should report back," the companion muttered, turning to retrace his steps. Unbeknownst to him, a shadow, ghost-like, had begun tailing Qian through the tunnel. So Wang Feng wasn't lying. This tunnel indeed saved me quite a bit of time. Just up ahead are two strong auras closing in, likely the young leader of the Hammer Mercenary group. "There's a pine grove up ahead. Perfect," Qian murmured, eyes fixed on the grove ahead as his natal core inscription within stirred, layers of runes rising as he prepared an ambush. This pine grove lay on the main route out of Ghost King City, toward the Hammer Mercenary group's base. Ghost King City was surrounded by powerful factions, the Hammer Mercenary group being dominant, followed closely by the Mad Demon Corps, an assembly of outlaws. Both forces were formidable, and the Scarlet Pine Grove was a key passageway to the Hammer Mercenary group's base. Originally, the Hammer Mercenary group's base had been within Ghost King City, but after an incident involving their leader's greed, they had fallen out of favor with the city lord and were forced to relocate. As for the Mad Demon Corps, being outlaws, their base had naturally fallen outside the city. Over the years, the city lord had sent troops to wipe them out several times, but they managed to escape each time. "Young master, the Scarlet Pine Grove is just ahead. Once we're through, we'll be at our base." Two figures moved quickly toward the grove, one of them speaking. "Understood. Stay alert. Our top priority is to return this sealed dose skill, and I've also learned where the Undying Leaf ended up. As long as we relay this information to the mercenary group, I'm confident my father will make the right call," said a dashing young man, looking at the Scarlet Pine Grove. This was none other than Yang Fei, the young leader of the Hammer Mercenary group, an early one-star Qian. "Guard Hua, thank you for your efforts. I won't let my father shortchange you upon our return," Yang Fei said with a smile. "Young master, why the hurry to get back? Could it be?" the older Guard Hua asked, unable to contain his curiosity. "Guard Hua, I have a feeling that third-rank Imperial-class alchemist has a special interest in this sealed dose skill. Snatching it from under his nose makes haste necessary. To reach the third-rank Imperial class at such a young age, I'd wager he has formidable backing." Yang Fei's face showed a rare maturity beyond his years. "Indeed, young master. Let's go." The two pressed forward, disappearing into the Scarlet Pine Grove. "Strange, this grove feels different," Guard Hua muttered as they entered, his instincts warning him of an unusual heat emanating from the once quiet Pine Grove. Guard Hua, a bodyguard assigned by Yang Fei's father, was only at the mid-one-star Qian level. Yet even at that stage, he had repeatedly slain late one-star Qian opponents, making him a trusted asset to Yang Fei. "What is it, Guard Hua?" Yang Fei asked, his eyes flashing with curiosity. "Young master, look out." In the next instant, an enormous pine tree up ahead became bathed in a haunting twilight glow, exuding a terrifying aura. Boom, boom, boom. At the same time, a massive, earth-colored flame dragon, roughly 10 meters long, silently swept through the spot where Yang Fei had just stood, but it missed him entirely. The dragon continued forward, instantly reducing several towering red pine trees behind him to ashes, leaving nothing but silence in its wake. "Who's there?" Show yourself, Guard Hua shouted, his voice firm and steady. As a seasoned fighter who lived on the edge, he wasn't afraid, though he was keenly aware that the two of them had likely triggered an enemy formation the moment they entered the Red Pine Forest. I've heard much about the formidable Guard Hua of the Hammer Mercenary Group. Seeing you today, I must say, your reputation is well earned. Xiao Yin spoke as he stepped out of the shadows, clad in a black robe, hovering in midair above them. An eerie energy swirled around him, concealing his true identity. Only someone with stronger soul power than his own would have been able to see through the disguise. The mysterious figure from Private Room 1? The two men below exchanged glances, both blurting out in unison as the realization hit. So, we fell for it, Xiao Yin thought, smirking internally as his vast soul power deciphered their thoughts. He had deliberately masked his aura using the ghost-faced soul flame, hidden under a black robe and shielded by his soul power, making him a dead ringer for the mysterious figure from the auction's Private Room 1. What brings you here, sir? Guard Hua asked cautiously, positioning himself protectively in front of Yang Fei, his tone brimming with vigilance. He knew the mysterious man from Private Room 1 possessed power beyond their reach. Even their mercenary leader would struggle against such an opponent, so he spoke politely. I'm interested in that sealed dose skill, Xiao Yin said without preamble, knowing his current altered aura and disguise would prevent them from recognizing him. You bastard! Yang Fei muttered under his breath, cursing as his worst fear unfolded. If my guess is correct, Guard Hua's eyes narrowed as he stared unflinchingly at the black-robed figure floating before him, his voice growing increasingly confident. You're not that mysterious figure from Private Room 1 at all. Oh? And what makes you say that? Xiao Yan's heart skipped a beat, though he forced himself to remain calm as he responded. Had this guy somehow detected his true form? Impossible. Guard Hua's strength was limited, and his soul power was weak. How could he see through the disguise? I've felt the aura of that mysterious figure from Private Room 1 before. His soul power wasn't nearly this strong, Guard Hua explained, sounding certain. With such formidable soul power, it's clear you're a high-ranking alchemist. At the auction, there was an alchemist who openly displayed such powerful soul energy. Guard Hua concluded confidently. You're that third-rank Imperial-class alchemist. Yang Fei exclaimed in shock. Since you've figured it out, then? Xiao Yan's tone shifted to coldness as three massive flame dragons, each over 100 meters long, burst into existence behind him, surging toward the pair with earth-colored flames trailing off them, casting an apocalyptic glow over the entire Red Pine Forest. This isn't good. It's a formation. Young leader, run, Guard Hua shouted, summoning all his strength to try and hold Xiao Yin back. He understood the immense power of this formation all too well. His current strength, at mid-1-star Qian, made it impossible to break the formation and escape with Yang Fei. Guard Hua, this? A hint of dread appeared on Yang Fei's face, clearly feeling the intense pressure Xiao Yin was exerting on them. If escape isn't an option, then we fight. Guard Hua finally declared. If we can take this guy down here in the formation, then the immortal spirit pill and earth dragon blood crystal he possesses will be ours. With no way to break the formation, he cast aside his earlier hesitation and glared at Xiao Yin, determination set in his eyes. Changed your mind, have you? A faint smirk played on Xiao Yan's lips beneath his robe. Kid, you could have chosen heaven but instead rushed into hell. Die! Guard Hua bellowed, tearing off his cloak to reveal something startling beneath. What is? Xiao Yan's gaze narrowed as he observed Guard Hua's transformation, clearly surprised. Despite Guard Hua's mid-1-star Qian level, this was turning out to be the most challenging opponent he'd encountered. Thunder explosion technique. Guard Hua shouted as silver lightning, each bolt the size of a fist, began forming on his body, coating him in a blinding, electrifying light. Crackle! Silver lightning crackled over Guard Hua, releasing a terrifying aura that sent a chill through the air, making it feel as though the sky itself might split apart. Moreover, just the sheer strength of this body alone might be enough to rival some late 1-star Qian powerhouses. Xiao Yan's sharp gaze quickly discerned the truth. Kid, prepare to die. After you die, we'll thoroughly enjoy your belongings. Ha ha ha. After Hua Huwei finished speaking, his figure vanished like a ghost, moving at an incredibly fast speed. As he moved, phantom afterimages appeared in his wake. Boom, boom, boom. Hua Huwei reached Xiao Yan's front and immediately struck out with a palm, aiming for Xiao Yan's crown. It was clear he intended to use his thunderous power to annihilate Xiao Yan. Come on. Xiao Yan smiled at the sight, then a trace of earthy yellow flame appeared in his palm, and he swung it directly, meeting Hua Huwei's palm in a forceful clash. Boom, boom, boom. The impact of their palms caused explosions to echo behind them. Not bad, kid. You're interesting. Swish, swish. In the next moment, both of them quickly pulled their hands back and, in perfect sync, retreated several dozen steps. Hua Huwei's eyes flashed with venom as he spoke through gritted teeth. This guy. Such powerful thunderous force. Xiao Yan stabilized himself after retreating several dozen steps and couldn't help but mutter. Just now, when he had used the sacred flame of Fireheart Heavenly Rock against Hua Huwei's strike, he had not gained the usual overwhelming advantage. Instead, his sacred flame was gradually consumed by Hua Huwei's thunderous force, and Xiao Yan was forced to disengage. It could be said that the earlier clash had been a loss for Xiao Yan. Come, fire. Xiao Yan refused to give up. Since one wave of sacred flame wasn't enough, he would unleash two. He wanted to see how many times Hua Huwei's thunderous power could withstand the sacred flame. Hua Huwei's body was also racked with intense internal turbulence. Though his attack had the upper hand just now, only he knew how the earthy yellow flames had reappeared inside him, stirring up his body with great pain. Thunder Tiger. But seeing Xiao Yan's next attack coming, Hua Huwei didn't hesitate, forcing down the intense pain and roaring once more. Roar, roar, roar. As his roar echoed, silver Do Xian power surged from within Hua Huwei, materializing into a massive thunder tiger about 100 feet tall. The thunder tiger was silver all over, surrounded by crackling thunderous power, with its silver fur radiating an immense strength. Let's see. Xiao Yan sneered. Which is stronger? Your thunder tiger or my flame dragon? After speaking, a surge of soul power erupted within Xiao Yan. He then controlled the giant fire dragon formed from the fusion of blue-yellow flames, sending it charging toward Hua Huwei. Such a powerful attack. Hua Huwei. Yang Fei muttered on the side, watching intently. At that moment, Hua Huwei's expression remained calm, though his smile was laced with a terrifying undercurrent of power. Sacred flame. The blue-yellow fire dragon easily pierced through the thunder tiger's body, and Hua Huwei's form became insubstantial, indicating that the thunder tiger was closely connected to him. Hua Huwei. Seeing this, Yang Fei couldn't help but shout out in anger. It's over. Xiao Yan ignored the shouting and controlled the blue-yellow fire dragon, plunging it into Hua Huwei's body. I never thought I'd see sacred flame in my lifetime. Hua Huwei muttered weakly as his form grew increasingly insubstantial. But the captain saved my life. I must repay this debt. Little captain, leave. Hua Huwei's body was on the verge of vanishing completely. With a final murmur, he erupted into a storm of energy, setting off a blazing explosion within the formation. Hua Huwei, no. Yang Fei's eyes filled with tears as he shouted, realizing that Hua Huwei had used his power to force Yang Fei out of the formation before self-destructing. Trying to self-destruct? Xiao Yan's eyes narrowed, and he roared. But before he could act, thunderous energy suddenly erupted throughout the formation. Really unlucky. Watching Yang Fei retreat into the distance, Xiao Yan frowned. He knew that even amid one-star Do Xian's self-destruct wasn't something to take lightly. Boom, boom, boom. A dazzling storm of destruction echoed within the formation. It looks like the sealed Do skill will have to wait for next time. Xiao Yan shook his head, seeing Yang Fei's disappearing figure. He realized that Yang Fei had already escaped, and this place was close to the Hammer Mercenary Group's main base. After all, The Hammer Mercenary Group had a powerful early 2-star Do Qian expert in charge, and for Xiao Yin right now, handling such a foe would be extremely difficult. Boom, boom, boom. In no time, Xiao Yin had completely dealt with the explosive energy, a faint look of helplessness flickering in his eyes. Once done, he headed toward Ghost King City. As for why the mid-1-star Do Qian guard Hua had fallen so easily, it was due to 2 reasons. First, he had recklessly absorbed Xiao Yan's power of the sacred flame, which was so fierce that even Xiao Yin wouldn't dare absorb it so boldly. Second, it was likely that the Thunder Tiger was his source power. The combination of the 2 naturally led to guard Hua's demise at Xiao Yan's hands. This guy. Knowing when to retreat shows promise, a voice commented. But I did underestimate guard Hua's strength. Otherwise, Yang Fei wouldn't have escaped. Bai He, standing beside him, remarked. After speaking, he too began heading toward Ghost King City. Heh, the old man finally left. Watching Bai He depart while muttering to himself, Xiao Yin couldn't help but stop in his tracks and laugh. What had just happened was, of course, staged for Bai He. The sealed Do skill was a treasure capable of enhancing his own power. Xiao Yin would certainly not let such a treasure slip through his fingers. First, let's check out the Hammer Mercenary group space. I can use my soul power to cover the area, and with the ghostly chi produced by the ghost-faced soul flame, I can hide myself. Even if I can't win, I can always escape. But I have a strange feeling that a strong presence is heading toward the Hammer Mercenary group. Is it just my imagination? Xiao Yin looked up at the distant sky, shaking his head. With that, he was engulfed by a layer of black chi and soul power, heading directly toward the Hammer Mercenary group's base. In Ghost King City, City Lord, it seems Yu Qian from the Yu clan has disappeared. A powerful figure tasked with watching the Yu clan reported from the City Lord's mansion. It seems they're making their move. Who is their first target? Wang Feng asked. Yu Qian appears to be heading toward the Hammer Mercenary group, the figure replied. The Hammer Mercenary group, huh? Alright, I know. You may go. Wang Feng waved him off. Understood. The figure disappeared from the mansion once again. Yu Qian, you finally couldn't resist making a move. Since you want to target the Hammer Mercenary group, I'll let you have at it. But I doubt you expect that in the end, the victor will only be me, Wang Feng said, chuckling softly. Outside Ghost King City, a figure hovered in midair, wearing a long azure robe. On the back of the robe, a vivid silver emblem of the Yu clan could be seen. With a sharp whistle of the wind, the figure sped toward the Hammer Mercenary group's base. Yu Qian? Hidden in the shadows, Xiao Yin had perfectly concealed himself using the ghostly chi produced by the ghost-faced soul flame and his soul power. However, when he saw the figure in the sky, his pupils involuntarily contracted. At that moment, there was only one person in the sky, but the faint and elusive aura this figure emitted shocked Xiao Yin greatly. A pseudo 3-star Do Qian. The Devourer of Souls spoke up, his voice tinged with concern. This ghost realm is truly terrifying. Just this small Ghost King City is far stronger than the entire Mystic 3 Heavens, Xiao Yin murmured, a wry smile forming on his lips. In Mystic 3 Heavens, the strongest fighters were at best peak Do D or early 1-star Do Qian flame users. But here in Ghost King City, 1-star Do Qian experts were as common as cabbages, a disparity that left Xiao Yin feeling helpless. Humph. I've told you before, the Great Thousand World is vast, and many continents are far stronger than Mystic 3 Heavens. So it's no surprise, really. And if you ever get the chance to reach the center of the ghost realm or the center of your human realm, only then will you understand what it means to be insignificant. Anyway, let's not get sidetracked, the Devourer of Souls added. That figure earlier must be Yu Qian, the Yu clan's leader. Judging by the direction he's heading, it seems he's going to the Hammer Mercenary group space. This is going to be interesting. Let's follow and see if we can take advantage of the chaos. Xiao Yin chuckled, carefully suppressing his aura as he trailed behind. With both his soul power and the power of the sacred flame from the ghost-faced soul flame guarding him, Xiao Yin wasn't worried about being detected. This kid, daring to plot against a 3-star Do Qian. Doesn't he know a single slap from a 3-star Qian could kill him instantly? But I like his boldness, the devourer of souls said with a laugh. As Yu Qian and Xiao Yin moved one after the other toward the Hammer Mercenary group space, Yang Fei had already arrived. Young Commander, you're back? The soldiers on patrol greeted him with smiles as soon as Yang Fei reached the base of the mountain. Yes. Is my father here? The captain and the key officers are all inside, the patrolling soldier replied. Good. Yang Fei nodded, his figure flashing as he moved toward the mountain summit. The Hammer Mercenary Group's headquarters had taken over a small mountain range, effectively occupying the entire peak. With rugged terrain that made it easy to defend and hard to attack, it was a rare natural stronghold, and the group's base lay at the very summit. Young Captain. Shortly, Yang Fei reached the peak, entering a large, imposing tent. Father, uncles. Bad news. Something's happened. Seeing the men before him, Yang Fei couldn't hold back. What is it, Feier? The Hammer Mercenary Group's captain asked with concern at his son's distressed appearance. We went to the auction, Yang Fei calmed himself, then relayed everything in detail. What? Undying Leaf? A third-rank Imperial-class alchemist? Guard Hua has fallen? As Yang Fei finished, the captain and several powerful officers couldn't contain their outburst. Crossing a third-rank Imperial-class alchemist meant the Hammer Mercenary Group's days were likely numbered. And though the Undying Leaf was priceless, the Lei, Yu, and Qing clans were eyeing it as well. It probably wouldn't end up in their hands. Moreover, losing Guard Hua, one of their most reliable men, was a tremendous blow. Father, what are we going to do? Yang Fei asked, unable to hide his worry. It seems Ghost King City has been calm for too long. It's time for a change. The captain shook his head slightly. Father? Captain? The others in the tent were puzzled by his words. Well, the famed Hammer Mercenary Group. A voice with overwhelming force suddenly echoed throughout the tent before anyone could react. Yu Qian? Hearing the thunderous voice, the powerful figures in the tent instantly became alert. Yu Qian's reputation and power were legendary. He had become a 3-star Qian decades ago, spreading his fame throughout Ghost King City. Rumors claimed he was afflicted with an internal malady that limited his strength, but he was still a genuine 3-star Qian, far superior to the Hammer Mercenary Group's strongest, a 2-star Qian. The disparity was vast, leaving the high-ranking members of the Hammer Mercenary Group visibly shaken at the sound of his name. Captain, what should we do? The group's senior officers expressed their anxiety, their words tinged with fear, intimidated by the voice outside the tent. Now that the auction has ended, Ghost King City was already turbulent. Yu Qian's arrival. I'm not sure of his intentions, but if he thinks he alone can swallow the Hammer Mercenary Group, he might be biting off more than he can chew. The captain muttered to himself, then lifted the tent flap and stepped outside. Members of the Hammer Mercenary Group, it's been a while. You all still look as lively as ever. Yu Qian stood in the air outside the tent, smiling at them. Ha ha ha. Well, who else but the head of the Yu clan? The captain laughed. The captain of the Hammer Mercenary Group, named Yang Fan, was a bona fide early 2-star Qian, and his power established the group standing. Even when Yang Fan had once angered the city's lord, Wang Feng, he hadn't been eliminated. That was the hidden strength of a 2-star Qian. Yang Fan, I've come today to borrow something from you. Will you oblige? Yu Qian remained in midair, showing no fear of the several powerful late 1-star Qian warriors by Yang Fan's side, speaking casually. What would you like? Beneath his smile, a rare glint of killing intent flashed in Yang Fan's eyes. The Hammer Mercenary Group, Yu Qian said with a slow, devilish smile. Damn it. Feier, get out of here. Without delay, as Yu Qian's voice fell, a strange power emanated from him, enveloping Yang Fei and swiftly sending him away. What terrifying power of Qian! Several strong warriors beside Yang Fan roared in alarm. Go now, or it'll be too late. Even in this crisis, Yang Fan's commanding presence remained steady. Yang Fan understood that for Yu Qian to act so boldly, he must have absolute confidence. As a 3-star Qian, he likely had few, if any, opponents within Ghost King City. The Hammer Mercenary Group is merely a stepping stone to me, Qian declared. Rest assured, after you're gone, the Mad Demon Corps, as well as the Lei clan, the Qing clan, and the City Lord's mansion will all join you. Go! In the next moment, as Qian's figure landed, an irresistible force suddenly erupted from his body. In an instant, it transformed into an energy barrier, enveloping the entire mountain range. This Qian, what terrifying strength! Hidden in the shadows, Xiaoyan furrowed his brow, feeling like he was facing a great enemy. Qian's strength was indeed at the early stage of a 3-star Douxian, and even though his power was restricted by a hidden ailment, the pressure he was exerting on Xiaoyan was no small matter. Judging by Xiaoyan's estimate, even if he used the 3 Sacred Flames fusion technique with all his might, he might not be able to easily wipe out Qian. A 3-star Douxian was truly a force to be reckoned with. Enough. It seems Yang Fan knows he can't escape, and is trying to use self-detonation to give his brothers a chance at survival. But a 2-star Douxian is like an ant before a 3-star Douxian. All of this is futile, the devourer of souls in Xiaoyan's body remarked. Xiaoyan responded softly. Yang Fan just secretly sent his son away. Let's get down to business. If they want to fight, let them fight. The devourer of souls chuckled. Go! Xiaoyan nodded lightly at his words, suppressing his aura and heading towards a rarely traveled path in the mountain range. The same path where Yang Fan had just sent his son away. Old fool, I've known for a long time that you have big ambitions, but if you want to annex my Hammer Mercenary Group, you'll have to pay a hefty price. Yang Fan said, watching as everyone was enveloped by Qian's energy. You all, will you die on your own, or should I do it for you? Qian's attitude was high and mighty as he looked down at the members of the Hammer Mercenary Group. Boss, let's fight him. Yes. There's never been anyone in our Hammer Mercenary Group who's afraid of death? Voices rose in the crowd. Since that's the case, then you can die in my place. With those words, a trace of malice appeared on Yang Fan's face. He clenched his fist, instantly crushing the weaker mercenaries to death. Yang Fan was trying to use the force generated by crushing their bodies to escape. Boss, you! The mercenaries of the Hammer Mercenary Group stared in shock as their leader killed them to use their power to resist Qian, leaving them with no hope of even dying in peace. This is your leader. He usually acts so kindly, but in reality, he's just a selfish, man-eating insect behind your backs. Die! Qian seemed to relish the defiance before death, deliberately delaying his attack to savor the moment. Boom, boom, boom. Silver lightning slowly intertwined within the energy barrier, and within that silver lightning, there was a fierce, bloodthirsty aura that sent chills down one's spine. How is this possible? Dohun? Yang Fan, who had been plotting to use the mercenary's self-detonation to escape, saw the silver light in the sky and felt a surge of fear in his heart. Glurk! A bolt of lightning streaked across the sky, and the remaining members of the Hammer Mercenary Group below were surrounded by thin threads of lightning. Just being surrounded by this lightning caused the mercenaries to lose all life, their pupils emptying, as if their souls had been erased. A bunch of useless fools. Die more thoroughly, Qian said, and his violent lightning surged outward, striking the lifeless bodies of the mercenaries with devastating force. Sizzle! The lightning repeatedly lashed at their bodies until a burnt smell filled the air, and only then did it stop. At that moment, the Hammer Mercenary Group had been completely wiped out, with only Yang Fei surviving. A 3-star Douxian could single-handedly annihilate an entire mercenary group. This was utter domination. The Hammer Mercenary Group is finished. Qian smiled with satisfaction as he surveyed the battlefield littered with corpses. After finishing this, the energy barrier slowly dissipated, and Qian concealed his aura before heading back to Ghost King City. That bastard Qian. Our mercenary group helped the Yu clan a lot in the past, and now they're trying to silence us. Yang Fei cautiously fled down the path, muttering under his breath. This path was known to very few within the mercenary group, and it had been prepared by the boss as an escape route. Unfortunately, Yang Fan never got the chance to use it before he perished at Yu Qian's hands. My father. They're probably in grave danger. I can't stay around Ghost King City. I'll have to head to the Eastern Continent to hide for a while. The entire Eastern Continent is about to experience a great upheaval. Before he fled, Yang Fei's father had already entrusted him with a considerable portion of the group's wealth. Coupled with the sealed dose skill, Yang Fei was confident he'd secure a position in the Eastern Continent's competition, hoping to rise to greatness. Sorry, but you probably won't have the time for that, came Xiao Yan's voice, ghostly and soundless, emerging at the next bend in the alley. Damn it! Yang Fei, upon seeing him, turned and tried to flee. The image of this cloaked figure ruthlessly killing Guard Hua in the Red Pine Forest was fresh in Yang Fei's mind. Knowing he was outmatched, his only choice was to retreat. Where do you think you're going? Xiao Yan's speed was astonishing. In a flash, he blocked Yang Fei's path. My lord, my lord, my lord, please, don't kill me. Here's the sealed dose skill and 10 million gold coins. I'll give you anything you want. Yang Fei roared in desperation as Xiao Yan cornered him. Yang Fei knew that, with Yu Qian eradicating their entire Hammer Mercenary group, he had no means of self-preservation. Xiao Yan's arrival was a clear death sentence. Die. Xiao Yan's gaze swept over him, his soul power easily detecting the hidden malice in Yang Fei's heart. As soon as the words left Xiao Yan's mouth, a surge of cyan and yellow flames erupted from his body, hurtling toward Yang Fei. What kind of flame is this? Aya! Yang Fei barely had a moment to react before the raging fire engulfed him, devouring him until not a trace was left. In a flash, Yang Fei's body was reduced to nothingness by the cyan and yellow flames. Yang Fei's power might have been formidable, but this unique flame, an amalgamation of Fireheart, Heavenly Rock, and Ghost-Faced Soul Flame, was not something he could withstand. The sealed dose skill. Xiao Yan picked up the skill and stashed it away. Everything else had already been reduced to ashes. It won't take long for news of the Hammer Mercenary Group's destruction to reach Ghost King City. Best to lay low for now, Xiao Yan murmured, concealing his aura as he headed toward the city. Now, all he had to do was wait, for the one who had claimed the Undying Leaf to make their move, and to seize his chance. Before long, Xiao Yan arrived in Ghost King City, booking a quiet room in an inn to recover. Lei clan residence. Patriarch, bad news. A panicked attendant rushed into the main hall, addressing Lei Li. What's all the fuss? Lei Li, engrossed in a scroll, glanced up in irritation at the disturbance. The Hammer Mercenary Group has been wiped out, the attendant reported, visibly shaken. What? They were completely annihilated? Lei Li dropped his scroll, his gaze growing wary. Although the Hammer Mercenary Group couldn't rival the three major clans, they were a top-tier force in Ghost King City. Who could have wiped them out? Who did it? Lei Li demanded. No one knows, but one thing is certain. The perpetrator overwhelmed them with sheer power in an instant. Initial guess? Could be one of the Mad Demon Corps' 2 leaders, or, the attendant stammered, visibly fearful. Or who? Lei Li barked. Yu clan's head, Yu Qian, the attendant replied cautiously. The Mad Demon Corps and the Yu clan have been restless for a while. They're likely behind this, Lei Li mused grimly. Send out a decree. Gather all of our Lei clan's forces, he ordered. This crisis, will either survive it or be destroyed. Survive, and we live. Fail, and we perish, Lei Li muttered, foreseeing the looming threat. Qing clan residents. Father, is it true something happened to the Hammer Mercenary Group? In the hall, Qing Ming, Qing Wanshu, and other Qing clan leaders had gathered, with Qing Ming breaking the tense silence. The Hammer Mercenary Group's annihilation is all over the city. As for who did it, Qing Ming, seated at the head, addressed the powerful figures around him. Patriarch, with the recent auction just concluded, and now the mysterious downfall of the Hammer Mercenary Group, it's likely there are hidden motives at play, an elder commented, his voice tinged with unease. Elder Qing is absolutely right. Now that rumors are flying across Ghost King City, and the Hammer Mercenary Group has been destroyed, all signs point to 2 factions, another elder observed. The Yu clan and the Mad Demon Corps? Qingming nodded slightly. Since the auction, the Yu clan has kept their doors shut and cut off all contact with the outside world. By the looks of it, this could turn into a major catastrophe, Qingming said solemnly. Gather all the forces of the Qing clan. It seems the true battle is about to begin. With that, Qingming dismissed everyone, who promptly went off to prepare. In the City Lord's residence. City Lord, the matter has been thoroughly investigated. The ones who wiped out the Hammer Mercenary group were indeed led by Yu Qian, he reported to Wang Feng in a quiet wooden chamber. This Yu Qian truly harbors ambitions, Wang Feng replied with a sneer. But perhaps it's for the best. It's time to root out this pest. He, gather the full might of our City Lord's forces and prepare to launch an assault on the Yu clan. Since they want to rebel, as City Lord, it's only fitting I show them the consequences. As for the Hammer Mercenary group's destruction, it's merely an excuse. Besides, they've committed too many strange acts. Their downfall is simply karma, Wang Feng added. Yes, my lord. He replied with a faint smile. Though Yu Qian is a fake 3-star Docian, what of it? Both he and Wang Feng were appointed directly by Qian's soul heaven from the eastern continent. Their foundation far surpasses anything Ghost King City could muster. Oh, by the way, my lord, we've received word from the Hawkeye Squad. They seem to be arriving ahead of schedule, he reported in closing. Excellent, Wang Feng said, breaking into a smile. With the Hawkeye Squad's arrival, even if Yu Qian were a 4-star Docian, he'd be hard-pressed to avoid his doom.